I mean, well, obviously we got to start Tennessee. I mean, we got to start the Titans because we got a Titans fan among us.
Yes,
I
sir.
think that
Tighten
we
up.
need to. So, and obviously for this one, I think we just turn it over to the man. I mean, well, obviously we will have our input, but let's take it away, Jack. I mean, this is your
So,
squad.
I think there's a lot of misunderstandings about this Titans team and where people think they're going to end up. If you look at the odds makers, all the bets are saying that this is the Colts division this year and that the Titans are probably going to be looking at second place. Here's why I don't think that's going to happen. A lot of people don't know this, but I mean, the Titans played like so many games hurt last year. They actually broke the record in the NFL for most players started in a single season. So it wasn't just on offense. It wasn't just on defense. It was also on special teams as well. And it wasn't just Derrick Henry. So which is what's crazy about that stat is the fact that the Titans were the number 1 seed in the entire conference last year.
I mean, 12-5.
I think a lot of people forget about that. And now, I think what they're projected right now is to go 8-9, which it's respectable. It's obviously with this new added game, it's probably not enough to get you into the playoffs. 8 games was really never enough to get you in, but so probably now definitely not. But what I think people are kind of overestimating is the fact that, okay, AJ Brown, amazing wide receiver. No one's taking that away from him. But do you think AJ Brown is 4 wins? Because he was already out a considerable amount of games last year, and the Titans
early in the year.
Yeah, and the Titans managed to do well. The Titans have upgraded at tight end. They have Austin Hooper now. They're not throwing passes to Anthony Ferkser anymore as a tight end. They have an actual guy who is a pass catching wide receiver, pretty darn good blocker as well. And in terms of the wide receiver room, obviously a lot of people were talking about Traylin Burks and the fact that he was when they did rookie camp, he apparently had stepped on the field, said that he couldn't breathe well due to his asthma and literally left within 15 minutes. Didn't even break a sweat and didn't show up for the rest of rookie camp. Now, a lot of people in the Titans organization, that's their first. That was their. Now, if you don't know about Shaylin Burks, Traylin Burks was the pick that was traded to Philadelphia for the trade with AJ Brown. So
they basically call him AJ Brown like 2.0. I mean,
when they did the draft, you're exactly right. They do the NFL comparison, and the already preloaded graphic for Traylin Burks was like his NFL likeness was AJ Brown, and it was pretty funny. But
I can't stand that when they do that.
So yeah, I mean, I think they do it by like body type, running speed, and at least
no doubt. Yeah. There's some they make they try to get the closest physical representation of that player, but how often does it actually pan out? Like they're
it's like weatherman. You know, it's like it's literally just like throwing shit against the wall and hoping it sticks. But you're never actually like held at fault for it because they're gonna be like, well, who can guess that? Like kind of like we are right now. It's like, well, obviously he didn't get that right because who can just guess that he's AJ Brown 2.0? You know, it's like. You're obviously just taking a guess.
They should do player comparisons for like everyday normal people, like my fat ass. They like just look at me and they're like alcoholic 35-year-old mailman, and that's like that's my physical comparison. I'm like, motherfucker,
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I'm like, God damn it. But going back to what I was saying though, Traylin Burks is supposed to be the replacement for AJ Brown. I've heard now, even more recent news is that he's gotten the weight back down because he came to camp fat apparently, and that he's impressing the Titans. So, which is good because he's really getting. I mean, I know that they've added Robert Woods, but Robert Woods didn't play more than
coming off
four,
of an ACL?
4 games, 3 games
ACL,
last year,
and an ACL. Wait, so just so we're clear, Traylon can breathe, right?
He has exercise-induced asthma.
Okay.
Which is a thing that fat kids say in middle school.
100%.
It's what fat kids say in middle school.
I may or may not have used that excuse in the past.
He literally fails step 1. They're like, Traylon, step 1, can you breathe? And he's like, no. They're like,
oops.
Okay. They're like, well, no reason for the rest of these questions. That you could stop filling out the form, go sit down. We'll find something for you to do.
Yeah.
You know, saying like,
Somebody get this guy a clipboard.
Somebody get this guy a water
or iPad. Now we use iPads. We don't use
Yeah,
clipboards.
an iPad and a water. Like, and somebody get the cap off the
Maybe
water.
an inhaler.
Too.
Yeah.
Somebody make sure that the cap is already off the
We need some
water.
albuterol, please. Albuterol stat.
Albuterol.
Oh, jeez.
But he
Andrew-
is a stud, though. I mean, the kid looks really good. Like, I mean, obviously the guy has got
The tape is
he's a
nice.
stud. I mean, you don't just
But-
trade AJ Brown, but
One of those guys that's like maybe a sleeper that people aren't gonna know about until he gets out in the field is that tight end 3, and I'm not even gonna pretend to know
gonna
how
say,
to
say
pronounce
it.
his name. It's Chigozium Akonkwao.
Akonkwao.
And
Akonkwao.
Chiggy.
Wow.
Chiggy is what I'm calling
what-
him.
He
And,
has to have a nickname, right? They probably do call him Chiggy.
They gotta call him
Yeah.
Chiggy, yeah.
Yeah. So Chiggy is
Chiggy.
he's got
yeah.
got a really high he's got a really high Madden score for running for tight ends because this dude no shit can fucking like run like a 4.5 or 4.4 and he's fucking
Holy
huge.
So why does he play tight end? He
Because
can't catch or what?
I don't think he was. I have to look more into this, but somebody was saying I don't think he's like a natural football player at all. Like that was just like he's too good of
Which is
an
actually
athlete.
that's actually pretty normal now. Like
That's how Tony Gonzalez
normal.
was. Tony Gonzalez played fucking basketball in NCAA.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, and I just
Look
feel
at
like now
Kyler.
you're getting a lot.
Or
of,
Antonio Gate. Or,
well, you got that kid
yeah.
from the Eagles that just ran in the
Who was
men's
that?
200 meter or whatever
Yeah.
but they've got a lot of these guys
remember his name.
are athletes, and now you're getting like rugby players that are coming into the league and stuff like that. So I mean, it's,
DK Metcalf wanted to fucking run Olympic track.
God, could you imagine just
He
lining
he
up
chased
next
down
to
fucking
DK
Buda
Metcalf.
Baker and his head got so
Dude.
fucking big, dude. He
Yeah,
was
dude.
like-
Yeah, well, he
he's
was like telling
that
Cheetah.
was-
I think he was telling Tyreek Hill he could beat him in races and shit. And it's like, all right, DK.
Yeah.
Like
He's like, I
chill.
could chase
I
down
remember
Usain
watching
Bolt
that.
if Usain Bolt smacked my girl's ass, I would chase him down.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Him chasing down Buda Baker still was terrifying. I mean, like he literally went from like short strides to like fucking and like just fucking. I mean, he was taking like Olympic strides to catch Buda Baker. That shit was terrifying. Like,
And
imagine
he
just
caught him.
you probably heard him like the vibrations in
yeah.
the field. Like
Oh,
you felt DK Metcalf.
You heard the
running
air moving
21
around his
miles an hour. Yeah,
because he's a big dude.
that's a big.
He's
boy.
a big dude and he's fast.
So
And he is
getting
a
back to the
pacifier mouth
getting
guard.
back to the Titans, there's a lot of targets that are gonna have to be eaten up. Traylin Burks, Robert Woods, and Austin Hooper are gonna have to really step it up. I like Nick was saying before we got started, Dontrell Hilliard, he can catch passes out of the backfield. I think that's going to definitely be a strategy for the Titans more moving forward. They used to be that great play action team because they could fake the run with Henry. And then by the time, the play wasn't a run, AJ Brown was open. So can they find a receiver who can do that kind of the same thing, those routes? Who knows? We'll see. And also, is Ryan Tannehill going to regress again? He had a regression last year. Wasn't nearly as good as he was 2 years ago. Is it age? Was it confidence? What happened? But that AFC championship game, or AFC divisional championship game against the Bengals, still has to kind of be sitting in the back of his head. 3 interceptions, all fucking awful plays. He really cost his team the win. They only lost by 3 points. Anyways, can you is there a way you can click the defensive side of the ball? Oh yeah, at the top right. Yeah. Because that's the only other thing I was going to mention with Titans. Obviously you got fucking Jeffrey Simmons, who's, if you don't like keep up with like defensive players, he's the new Aaron Donald. Like, in my opinion, he is so fucking dominant on the line. It's unbelievable. Harold Landry,
The new Aaron Donald. Look, I like Jeffrey Simmons, but
Jeffrey Simmons now is better than Aaron Donald right now. I'm just saying. That's my opinion.
You talking about Aaron Donald that just sealed the Super Bowl, but being triple teamed?
Yep, I think Jeffrey Simmons. I think I love Jeffrey Simmons.
Bro, hot take of the year right here.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Simmons is better than Aaron Donald currently.
He's going to win defensive player of the year next. He's going to win defensive player of the year next year. if the Watt brother doesn't fucking win it.
Micah Parsons.
Zach Cunningham is a fucking tackle machine. Came from the Texans.
Machine. Harold Landry's a savage.
He came from the Texans. Yeah, they got a really fucking good team. Kevin Byard's the number one, I think, DB in the league. I mean, he was an All-Pro last year. He's fucking really fucking good. But yeah, that's the Titans in a nutshell. Kind of thinking that, if they were 12-5 last year, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe an 11-6 season or 10-7 or 10-7. I still think they take this division.
So can we pull up? Can we pull up the 20? Can we pull up their schedule for the year?
Yeah, we can do the schedule.
Yeah.
We don't have to obviously let's not go through the entire thing, but let's.
So the game they should win that I think they're going to lose is they play the Giants on 9/11. New York. I just don't like. I don't like the.
Yeah, I'd probably come to play that game.
Yeah, dude, the city's showing out on that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good one for the Titans.
They might sign Eli for a one-dayer on that.
I don't know. You might start out 0-2, maybe 0-3, and you're telling me that you're going to go 11-5. Is that what 11-6?
11-6, yeah. Because I think that we win both games versus. I think we don't lose a game in the division this year. Because I don't see us losing to the Jags.
Ooh, baby.
I don't see us losing to the. I sure as fuck don't think we're losing to the Texans this year. And then the Colts, I mean, I think they're
Colts
improved.
are still so good.
They're improved. We'll get into that, but I don't think they're the fucking. Okay, here's the thing about the. Let's just get into the Colts. They'll be our next team we get into.
Hold on, I gotta trash the Titans.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let it. Yeah.
Okay, well, let me finish my point about. Let me finish that point against the fucking Colts. Then, the fucking Colts have been favored to win the league the last 7 years. They haven't won a fucking division championship since 2016 or 2015. That's 6 years. They haven't won the division. They're not everybody always thinks that, it's the Colts this year. It's the Colts this year. It's not the Colts this year. I can tell you that. Go ahead. Shit on the Titans.
You want to take this first? You want me to go?
No, you go first.
Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to go switch back to the offensive tab here just because we need that. And I think there's some problems that you're kind of overlooking here, Jack. So one, you did mention Ryan Tannehill's regression, and that much is 100% clear. I think QB 13, like what he ranked last year fantasy wise, I think that's totally fine. I think that's accurate. I think that's about where he is in the league right now, given last year. He's played better in the past, but given his pedigree, I think that last 2 years is more of an outlier, before last year. So 2019 and 2020. Or more of what we're going to see from Ryan. The other big issue here that nobody mentions is Derrick Henry. He broke down last year. You keep putting a ton of work on that man's feet. And at some point, just like last year, the body's going to give. He's only getting older. It's going one direction. If he stays healthy all year, sure. I think 10 wins is definitely achievable.
When does he turn 20? So he's 28. When does he turn 29?
That's a good question.
He just turned 28, I think.
Jan 4. So January 4th. So yeah, he's
okay. So he's 28 and a half.
28 and a half.
But you already saw the sign of wear breaking him down last year. He came back in the playoffs. He didn't look great. You have to have concerns that you kind of brought him back too early. After viewing him in that game, he just wasn't not nearly as effective. I know he got the touchdown, but that's not really what you're looking for. Derrick Henry's run style is not conducive to the amount of times that he has to rush the ball. He is a wear you down, get the big plays late, and just pound you for quarter after quarter. And unfortunately, that takes rushing attempts. And I just think that maybe not this year, maybe next year, but he's reaching that limit of what he can actually achieve, I think. And we haven't even gotten to the wide receivers, which is probably the most pitiful bunch of the offense. You had one issue to address. If I'm the Titans before this, the offseason just starts, I'm thinking I have to get weapons for Ryan Tannehill. The play action, like you said, it wasn't working. You got away from it because it wasn't working, especially when Derrick Henry went down. Yeah, it's easy to run the play action when you got 9 guys in the box, 8, 9 guys in the box, but if Derek's not there, which he wasn't for a good amount of time, that becomes an issue. You traded AJ Brown, who was your best wide receiver, and you replaced him with a kid with asthma. Robert Woods just tore his ACL. Robert Woods just tore his ACL last year. Go look up wide receivers after their ACL tears. It's not very good.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Notable exception.
Yeah,
there are exceptions to the rule, but the vast majority of people that tear their ACLs
had that ready to go.
I hope they're on the same cycle.
Andrew's like halfway through. Andrew going, yeah, bro. Nobody ever comes. He's like Cooper motherfucking Kupp, boy. Like he had that ready to go.
And we're talking up Austin Hooper like he's done something the last 2 years.
Brick hands.
As a Browns fan,
an upgrade though. He is definitely an upgrade from what they had. And I don't even know who the fuck
they had. Anthony Ferkser.
Okay. Yeah, it is an upgrade, but
definitely an upgrade.
You went from 28th ranked wide receiver or tight end in the league to 17, 16.
I mean, he can just catch the fucking ball. If he can keep the ball in his hands, the guy's route running. I think he's got very good route runner. I think Austin Hooper, like I said, clear upgrade. I mean, definitely if he can get
it's one area though.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But I mean, I do think that like as far as he's going to be getting probably more catchable balls, you got to be thinking, I mean, we know who he's been catching balls from the last couple of years.
No doubt. Ryan Tannehill is an upgrade in comparison to quarterbacks.
Right. And I think Austin Hooper is going to be, I mean, he dropped a lot of very catchable balls last year, but, right off the hands. But I think that he'll have more opportunities to catch the ball. Like it'll hit him where it's fucking supposed to, because Baker Mayfield,
I think if they hit 10 and 7, I think that would be a good year for the Titans this year. I think 9 and 8 is more realistic, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, but it's them or the Colts. I mean, it's definitely gonna be them or the Colts.
100%.
I mean, let's